Okay, the next fly is another wet fly. It's meant to be fished underwater, and this is called a gold-ribbed hare's ear. It's the reason they call it gold rib. Well, you can see the gold wire in there. Hare's ear is the kind of dubbing that's on there. It actually comes from a hare or a rabbit's mask, its face, and the fur comes from that. It has a tail of a soft material, or you can use your elk hair from your last fly. That'll work fine. Just a little short tail. We're going to have that gold wire over the body part of it, and then dubbing. Now we're going to have something different. This is called a wing case. This is a piece of turkey quill. So this is representing the nymph while it's before the bug is an adult. It's still underwater, and this is the shell that's keeping the wings before the wings sprout. And then there's the thorax, or the front part of the fly, that's kind of real thick and fuzzy, because that's where the body is eventually going to be. And then, of course, we always have a head. Very, very effective pattern anywhere in the U.S. and especially around the western U.S. Okay, we're going to use our size. We've got a size 10 hook here. You can tie this from size 8 to size 20 if you want. Just make sure, like all flies, we get that hook in there right. We can still see the barb. Got that shank parallel. We're ready to go. So what do we do first? We always cover that shank with a nice layer of thread. This, again, without repeating myself too much, it gives a nice base to mount all the other materials. So we're going to wrap that back, getting close, trim it off, and then get it right back to the barb. Let's see, where are we? There we are, right at the barb. Perfect. Okay, from one of the flies, you can use nice soft hackle for this tail, but not long ago we just tied something with elk hair. So here's our elk hair again. We're going to take just a few fibers out of there, maybe 15, 20 fibers like that. Then we're going to cut those off of the hide. And if you want to, you can stack them. You don't have to, but we'll put them in our hair stacker. Remember how we do that? And then we tap that on the table. We point it the way we're going to apply it, like that. There's our little fibers. Now we're going to tie them on. So we want this shank, this tail, to be a little shorter, so about 1/2 of the body length, right about there. You know what we do here. We pinch it, pass the thumb over by your forefinger, loose wrap, 1, 2, pinch hard and pull. And then a few more wraps just to make sure. Keep a hold of it and then wrap right back to our barb again. There we are, right back to the barb. There we got a nice little tail. When it comes out too long, it's your fly, you can trim it if you want. There you go. And we'll take off the rest of this stuff. Okay, now we got a little tail. Now this one is different. It has some wire in it. So we have off of a spool of wire, I've cut some kind of a medium gold wire, cut a little length of it, and we're going to tie that in the fly. For this, because it's kind of slippery, I like to go up the shank a ways, and it's stiff, so you can just lay it on there like that and just start wrapping, and then wrap it back to just about where the barb is and just let it hang for a second. Here's our dubbing again. We're going to take that same kind of dubbing. We're going to pull off very sparse amount. You think you'd put on that much? That's way too much. We're just going to take a little bit like this, lay it on your thread, and start spinning. Moisten your fingers if you wish. Start spinning. So now we got that on. So we're going to wrap this forward, and we're going to have something different with this fly. This is where we're separating the abdomen from the thorax. So what we're going to do is take one wrap behind the gold wire first. Make it behind the gold wire. There we go. Now you can pull the gold wire back, and now we're going to go forward, just like we dubbed on the rest of them. Not going to go up too far though, because we have to stop because we're going to be tying in the thorax. See, normally we would take it right up to there, but we're back a ways because we have to tie in something else. So that's good there. We'll just leave that lay. Now you can take the gold wire and then kind of open wraps. We're going to wrap that through the dubbing. This gives it it gives it a lot of strength, and it gives it some flash, and it gives it segmentation, just like the real bug has. So we'll get up here, and just like all materials, over the top once, twice, 3 times, and then once in front. Now, your scissors, you can trim this off with your scissors, but what I recommend is, if you do, is get way down in here, because you rarely use this part, and if you dull it, you won't feel bad. I wouldn't take the tip and cut it. If you don't want to cut it, here's another tip. Hold this firmly, get a hold of the wire, and make about 3 or 4 turns, and it breaks right off. So you can, your choice, whatever you like to do. Now we're going to go wrap a little. The next material, what we're going to use, is turkey fiber. This is off of a turkey wing. The way you can separate this, you hold it up, stick your dubbing needle in there, kind of separate the fibers. So that's about a little bigger than 1/8, maybe 1/4 of an inch. We're going to trim that off of the wing, the turkey wing. So now we have these turkey fibers. We don't need the tips, so we're going to trim those. Now you can see the curve. There's a natural curve. We want the curve going up like this. We're going to hold those fibers right over the thorax area, and then the same process as always. Go over the top, down, 2, and pull. There we go. Now we got this nice flat turkey fiber laying right up on top of the hook. And this is going to be the wing case. So we're going to wrap back a little bit so we have some space here. Now we're going to add some more dubbing. Here we go. Here's some more of that hare's ear dubbing. We're going to take, we want this a little bit thicker than the back. Remember, this is where all the body is housed in this bug. So we're going to make this a little bit thicker. Then I'm going to show you another use of your dubbing needle. It works really nice. Let's see how that looks. Remember, if it's too much, you can always pull it off, or if it's not enough, you can always add more. Now we're going to wrap this and kind of stack it up on top of each other, because we want this nice and thick, like that. Then you bring the thread up just behind the head space, pull over your turkey fiber, and then wrap over the top of that fiber once. Now that'll lay down 2, 3 times. Grab everything, pull it up, and wrap right in front of it 2, 3 times. Now you can trim off your turkey. Now we'll create our head. So now what you can do is get your trusty dubbing needle, and we're going to make our half hitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There. Tighten it up, get your scissors, trim it off. There you go. Now, we can simulate legs. See, this is where, this has got a sharp point on it. So if you get a hold, you're kind of poking this thorax area, and if you poke and pull, see it's pulling out some of those fibers. So that gives it a very, very buggy look, because that's where the legs are on this bug. And what we're doing is simulating the legs just by pulling that out. So you want to leave that nice and fuzzy like that. That's the way it looks very much like the natural. So a gold ribbed hare's ear. Very good pattern.